Good morning, everybody. This is the Friday class for April, and today we are going to continue with our book on the 39 steps. And I know some of you have already done the book cover, and some of you chose this book to be your book cover. But today we're going to go on and read chapter 3, and I suppose you guys, some of you, may have finished reading chapter 3 already. So you should probably know kind of what the story is like in chapter 3. Now, it's been a while since we read this book last time. So to help you remember or recall your memories about this book, what had happened in chapter 2 was a man was found killed in the apartment, and Richard, the main character, decided to escape because he was afraid that someone might want to kill him too because he knows all the secrets. Okay? And then he dressed up as the milkman and then escaped and hopped on a train. So in the end of chapter 2, the last scene in chapter 2 was when Richard actually went on a train and then he left to escape from the people that were trying to kill him. So let's take a look at chapter 3, page 14, the hotel owner. Okay, so last time in our class we've already highlighted some keywords. Do you remember? Now, if you have those keywords, you can now write down the meaning of the keywords, okay, in Chinese if you need to. And I'm going to go over the keywords first, okay? The first keyword we talked about was fine weather, okay? Fine weather, fine means good. So, like people say, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Fine means good in English. It also means high quality. Sometimes if we say fine dining, that means the quality of the restaurant is very good. Now, the second word we should have circled last time was the word traveled. Traveled. Why do I want to talk about this word? It's because if you take a look closely at this word over here, you'll realize that this travel has two L's, double L. Now, most of you learned American English in high school. So what's the difference between American English and British English here? Now, if it's American English, it's single L. If it's British English, it's always double L. So that is something you want to know. Okay. The next keyword that we circled was the word certain and uncertain. Certain just means sure, and uncertain means not sure. Moving on to page 15, we circle the word carriage. Okay, carriage means like a coach, 马车, okay, a carriage. And then also the word more. More is a new word. I have it on the board also. A moor is a piece of deserted land with nothing on it. In Chinese you would call it like a 荒地 or 荒野. Okay, and then the last word on page 15, we got the word stream. Stream is a very useful word today. We use it for the internet. Stream in old days means river, similar to a river, 河流. Okay, so stream. Moving on to page 16, we've circled the word sheepdog. Sheepdog over here. Now, a sheepdog is very uncommon here in Taiwan. You probably, maybe you'll be able to see one in a place in Taiwan. It's a place where you see a lot of farms and beautiful hostels. Anybody know where that is? It's Qingjing 农场, right? You would probably see a sheepdog. But in New Zealand, where I used to live, okay, there are a lot of sheepdogs. So you can actually just go to any regular farm and you'll be able to see a sheepdog chasing a flock of sheep everywhere. Okay, now they are very, very smart dogs. So a sheepdog in Chinese would be called, well, they would say 牧羊犬. Okay, a sheepdog, that's what it is. Okay, then moving on to page 17, you will see an alcohol, brandy and whiskey. So brandy is what Taiwanese call Bailandi. And then whiskey is, you guys know whiskey. I'm pretty sure you guys know what whiskey is. Alright, let's go on and move on to page 18. If you look at the picture over here, you'll see that Richard has escaped from the carriage, from the train, and he was trying to lose the people that were chasing him. And then the caption here says, "My plan was going perfectly until a dog began to bark." So he was running around trying to escape, trying to hide, and then the sheepdog over here, oh, you can actually see a dog over here. The sheepdog started to bark, and that was attracting some kind of attention. Now on page 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth line, there's a very interesting word called heather. Now in English, heather, we usually use this word as a name for a girl. Some girls, they would call themselves Heather. I think it's a pretty nice name. Okay, Helen, Heather, they're all pretty similar names. But Heather, in our reading today, is something that's totally different. Heather is a kind of flower. So it's a bushy kind of flower. And it's not very tall. It's kind of like grass. It's about this big. And it's this purplish color. It's a purple kind of flower. If you are interested, you can Google it and take a look at what a heather plant looks like. Alright, and then down on page 19, we see the word storyteller, a person who likes to talk about stories. If you move on to page 20, you see the word desert. Desert is a place where you don't have water and only sand. Okay, 沙漠. And then gratefully means happily. Gratefully means happily. On page 21, you see the word lisped. Okay, this word is more difficult. So what does it really mean? It means that a person is not very good at talking, and when this person talks, you would probably stop and then think and then stop and then think. So he's not a very good speaker, right? So 吞吞吐吐, similar to that, okay? And then another important word, fortnight, which is down here, fortnight. This word is important because you would actually see this word sometimes, okay, in books, or one of my students actually plays a video game. I don't know if you guys know this game. It's actually called Fortnite. So what does fortnight actually mean? Fortnight means 2 weeks. It means 14 days. So fortnight, that's what it means, 14 days. Uncertain and advise. Advise just basically means to suggest. I think most of you know that. And then on page 22 and 23, on page 22 you will see 2 British men, one fat and one thin, and they were after Richard. So they were tracking Richard down. They were chasing him and trying to track him down. Right. So what exactly happened in the story? Well, maybe let's take a look.